There we go. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Thank you for joining us here at Tzion, coming to you virtually from all of our homes. We are joined by Scott Wiggin, who is our tech extraordinaire. We have Allison Feinberg, and of course we have the man of the hour, Avi Kaplan, joining us as we celebrate his bar mitzvah. Avi will become bar mitzvah in Ojai at his happy place, Camp Ramah, tomorrow morning. So we are very excited that Avi and his family are joining us this evening and sharing this simcha with us from the beautiful, fresh air of California. We begin this Shabbat with our song of welcome, Shalom Aleichem, and we are so excited to have Avi start us off.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei HaMalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech malachei amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu ni l'shalom malachei hashalom malachei elyon. Mi melech malachei amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzitchem l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Mi melech, malachei amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Beautifully done, Avi. We will continue in our Kabbalat Shabbat Siddur on page 5 with Yedid Nefesh as we sing and celebrate our extra soul. And Avi, when you're ready, you're going to lead us in the first 2 paragraphs of Yedid Nefesh.
Yedid Nefesh of Harachaman, Meshach Avda El Retzonah. Yarut Avda Kemo Aya Yishtachavel Muhadara Yeravlo Yedidutav Minofetu Vechol Ta'am Hador Na'eziv Haolam Nafshi Cholat Avtata Ana Elna Refana La Behar Ota Naom Zizia Azitazek Vetitrape Veharalach Shivchat Olam. Nine 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 yada nine 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 yada nine 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 yada nine 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 yada nine 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 yada nine 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 yada nine 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 yada nine 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 yada nine 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 yada nine 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 yada nine 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 yada nine 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 yada nine 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 yada nine 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 yada nine 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 nine.
We continue with our Psalms of praise during Kabbalat Shabbat with Psalm 95. As we lift our voices together in praise, Avi leads us in Lechu Neranena, page 8.
Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena, l'Adonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena, l'Adonai. Naria, Naria, Letsuri, Shinu. Naria, Letsuri, Shinu. Bizmirok Naria lo. Lechuneranena, 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 Ladonai. Lechuneranena, 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 Ladonai.
Avi, you are doing beautifully. As you continue, I'll give you a chance to take a deep breath. As we continue, well, did you take your deep breath? We'll continue on Romemu on page 13. Avi, for you, that's page 19. And when you're ready.
Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu. Ki Adonai Eloheinu Romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho.
We continue on page 14 with Havu Ladonai. These words, we are invoking these 7 different aspects of God. We'll give Avi a chance to take a break before Lecha Dodi. Page 14, if you are able to invite the Kahal to please rise. Mizmor LeDavid, Havu Ladonai ben Elim, Havu Ladonai, Kavod Ba'oz, Lai, Havu Ladonai, Kevod Shemo Yishach, Havu Ladonai, Behadat Kodesh, Kol Adonai, Al Hamayim, El HaKavod Hirim, Adonai, Almaim Rabim, Kol Adonai, Bakoach, Yahalai, Kol Adonai, Behadad, Kol Adonai, Shover Harazim, Vaishaber Adonai, Et Arzei Halvanon, Vayarkidem Kemo Hegel, Levanon, Vesirion, Kemo ben Re'imim, Yahalai, Kol Adonai, Chotzev Lahavotesh, Kol Adonai, Yachil Midbar, Yachil Adonai Midbar Kadesh, Kol Adonai, Yecholel Hayalot, Vayechesof Ye'arot Uvechalo Kulo Omer Kavod Yahalai Adonai Lama Bu Yashava Yeshev Adonai Melech Leolam Adonai Oz Lehamo Iten Adonai Evarech Et Amo Vashalom Ya Alai, Alalai, Ya Alai, Alalai, Ya Alai, Alalai, Ya Alai, Lai, Lai, Ya Alai, Lai, Ya Lai, Nanai, Ya Nanai, Ya Lai, Nanai, Ya Nanai, Ya Nanai, Ya Nanai, Ya Nanai, Ya Nanai, Yai, nai, yai, 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 nai, 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 yai, nai, nai, yai, nine, 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 nine. We continue welcoming in Shabbat with a fan favorite, Lecha Dodi. And Avi, take it away.
Lecha Dodi likrat kala yanana 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 ne Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala yanana 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 ne Shabbat nekabela. Shamor vezachor bedibur echad ishmianu el hamiyuchad. Adonai echad ushemo echad l'shemo tiferet ve'litchila. Lecha dodi likrat kala yanana 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 ne Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala yanana 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 ne Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha ki hi mekor habracha merosh mekedem nesucha sof ma'aseh b'machshava tchila. Lecha dodi likrat kala yanana 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 ne Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala yanana 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 ne Shabbat nekabela. Mikdash melech ir melucha kumitzei mitoch ha'afecha Rav lach shevet be'emek havacha vehu yachamo alai chemla. Lecha dodi likrat kala yanana 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 ne Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala yanana 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 ne Shabbat nekabela. Yamin u'shmol tifrotzi ve'et Adonai taritzi. Al yad ish ben partzi v'nismecha v'nagila. Lecha dodi likrat kala yanana 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 ne Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala yanana 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 ne Shabbat nekabela. Boi v'shalom ateret ba'ala gam v'simcha u'v'zola. Tochemunei am segula boi chala. Lecha dodi likrat kala yanana 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 ne Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala yanana 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 ne Shabbat nekabela.
You may be seated. Thank you, Avi. You get to take a little bit of a break before we get to Baruch Hu. It is a custom for those who are in mourning that now is when we would welcome them into our sanctuary. And so I'm especially thinking of Hannah Lang, whose brother passed away this week, who was buried on Wednesday morning. And as she joins us this Shabbat, we say to her and others who are mourning amongst us, Hamakom yinachem etchem betoch sha'ar avelei Tzion v'Yerushalayim. May the godliness of life comfort all of those who mourn, along with the mourners of Zion, Yerushalayim, and all of humanity. As together we say, Amen. We conclude our Kabbalat Shabbat with Psalm 93. And let's read this one together in English. Adonai reigns clothed in majesty. We're on page 24. Creation has clothed godliness with strength. Indeed, the world is firmly established. It will not be moved. Your godly throne is established from of old. You are everlasting. The floods have lifted up, compassionate one. The floods have lifted up their voice. the floods continue to lift up their waves. More than the sounds of mighty waters, the mighty breakers of the sea, godliness is mighty. Your divine testimonies are fully confirmed. Holiness befits your house of godliness forevermore. Mikolot ma'im rabim adirim mishpereyam adir bamarom Adonai. Edotecha nemnu mehod leveitcha na'ava kodesh Adonai leorech yamim. We take time now to say these words of the mourner's Kaddish on page 25. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divra kir'utei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon, uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala ubizman kariv v'imru, amen. Yehe shmei Rabbah mevarach le'alam u'lalmei almaya. Yitvarach v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yit hadar v'yit ale v'yit halal shmei dekudsha brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush bechata v'nechamata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru, amen. Yehe shlama rabba min shmaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru, amen. You may be seated. And before we move on to Ma'ariv, I'm going to exercise a little bit of cantor privilege. And Avi, I wanted to take a moment to really speak to you, just the two of us and the 150 people watching. Avi, this is a community that has watched you grown up. And so Tzion feels incredibly affectionately towards you in a way that might be a little bit uncomfortable for you sometimes. But it comes from a place of real joy, and it comes from a place of real love. And so I really want to take a moment here to acknowledge that Micah, your beloved dad, our beloved rabbi and teacher and friend, is not here to celebrate with us. And that part really hurts. And that part isn't fair. But because it is Shabbat, and because this is a simcha, we have to put that aside just for a second. And that again is hard. Avi, I've worked with you for almost a year. It's been 9-10 months. I've gotten to know you a little bit better. I really like you. You're fun. You've got a great sense of humor. You've got a great smile. You've got like a really good head on your shoulders. You think good. You got a good brain. And you also see things in a particular perspective with a very particular Avi way. And sometimes you don't necessarily reveal those thoughts to many people. You keep a lot inside, and that's okay. But what I really like and what I really admire is how you feel comfortable to turn to the people that are around you when you need them. You have Brianna. I can see hair. There she is. I know Julia's there, and I know you've got your mom. And I know you have not just your family, but your friends that you love so much. And you've got a huge community of people who are rooting for you every step of the way, Avi. They really are. And that's a lot of power in your back pocket. And that's a lot of people on your side. Avi, my wish for you really is that this year is the worst it will ever be for you. And that never, never again will you feel the kind of loss that you're feeling. And never again will you feel loneliness. It's a wish. I don't know if it'll come true, but it's my wish for you. And my blessing, Avi, is as you go through the journeys of life, which you know are completely and totally unpredictable, may you continue to be surrounded by that love. May you always know that deep in your heart that your people are there for you and that they've got you. They've got your back. And I hope that gives you strength. I wish that Micah were here, and I wish that we were together in our sanctuary. All these things I wish. And one of the things I feel very deeply is that Micah is not only rooting for you this weekend, but the Dodgers as well. And so we have to put in a little bit of a, we have to put an honorable mention of the Dodgers being in the World Series. And I'm pretty sure of the many values and the many beautiful things your dad has taught you, he has probably given you also his love of the Dodgers. Avi, I'm sending you lots of love, wishing that I can be with you, wishing that Micah's presence is strongly felt, hoping that you can hear his laughter from across the hills, hoping that you can hear him cheering and applauding you, and hoping you can see that big smile and know that even though he's not here, his spirit really is, and it lives with you. And I hope that gives you comfort, and I hope that gives you strength. So I'll conclude with what your dad has said to many, many B'nai Mitzvah students. We don't know what the future will bring, but for tonight and tomorrow, you are going to live and bask in the incredible moment of celebration that you have worked so hard to achieve. I'm sending you my love, Avi, and I'm sending you love from, I don't know if you're watching the chat on the live stream, but I am sending you so much love from all of those who are watching you and who are smiling and celebrating you with such joy and love. Mazal Tov, Avi. Are you ready to do Baruch Hu, Avi? Yeah, it's on page 28 of your book. For all of us following along, it's also page 28 for us. I invite you to rise if you are able. Take it away, Avi.
Yai na 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 na. Yai na 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 na. Yai na 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 na. Yai na 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 na. Yai na 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 na. Yai na 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 na. Yai na 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 na. Yai na 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 na. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Umavir yom umevi laila, umavdil ben yom uvein laila, Adonai tzvaot shemo, el chai vekayam, tamidim lo chaleinu leolam va'ed, baruch atah Adonai, ha'ma'ariv aravim. We continue on page 30. Avi leads us in the rousing tune of Ki Hem Chayenu.
Avat Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Ahavta Torah Mitzvot Chukim Mishpatim Otanu Limadeta Al Ken Adonai Eloheinu B'Shofenu V'Kumeinu Nasiach B'Chukecha V'nismach b'divrei Toratecha u'b'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Ki hem chayenu be'orech yameinu ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגה יומם ולילה.
ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים, ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו Yisrael. Our Shema can be found on page 31 as Avi leads us in these words. Avi, unmute.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
We continue to ourselves. V'haya im shama tishme'u mitzvotai asher anochi mitzvechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem emet. We continue with our words of thanksgiving, which can be found on page 37, as Avi leads us in Mi Chamocha.
Mi kamocha bailim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar bakodesh, nora tehilot o sefele, nora tehilot o sefele, ma'alechutecha ra'u vanecha, polkei hayam v'yeshon Zevi anu ve'amru Adonai imloch le'olam ha'esh.
ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל Yisrael. Avi sings much lower now than when we started our lessons. Just saying. We come to our Hashkivenu prayer, a divine prayer of peace. And I'd like to offer these words in English on page 39. Grant, O eternal God, that we may lie down at night in peace, and raise us up in the morning renewed with strength. Spread over us the shelter of godly peace. Guide us with good counsel for your name's sake. Be our help. Shield us from hatred and plague. Keep us from war, famine, and suffering. Subdue our inclination to evil. O God, our guardian and our helper, our gracious and merciful sovereign, give us refuge in the shadow of your wings. Guard our coming and our going, that now and always we have life and peace. Blessed is Adonai, whose shelter of peace, whose sukkot shalom is spread over us. over all your people, Israel, over humanity in Yerushalayim. As together we say, Amen. We come to page 40, which has the beloved song, Vishamru. After Avi sings Vishamru, we will engage in our own moments of private conversation. If you are able, you may rise as Avi sings with gusto.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. בינינו ובין ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
Avi, you'll continue with Chatzi Kaddish.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, אמן. ועמד יברכותה וימליך מלכותה, וחייכון וביומכון, וחיי כל בית ישראל, בגלה בגלה, ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעולם לעולם היה, יתברך וישתבח, יתפאר ויתרומם וינשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי לקודשה בריחו, לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, תמירם בעלמה, ואמרו אמן.
We take a few moments for our own personal meditations and reflections, our own time to speak with God. Our silent prayers begin, our Amidah begins on page 43, and we'll continue to page 56. You can use the pages, the words that are on the pages, you could use the words of your heart. מלאכתו אשר עשה, וישפוט ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה. ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי ויקדש אותו, Ibo Shabbat Mikom Malachto HaShabbat Elohim Asot. Kachenu b'mitzvotecha, ten chalkenu b'toratecha, zodeinu amchenu b'shuatecha, v'toher libeinu li'odecha be'emet, v'hanchileinu Adonai Eloheinu. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru amen. Hey, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya na ya na 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 na, ya na 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 na, ya na 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 na, ya na 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 na, ya na ya na 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 na. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru amen. Yitkada v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divra kirute v'yamlich malchute b'chayeichon v'yameichon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, b'gala v'zman kari v'imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach, le'alam u'lam me'almaya yitbarach. Yitbarach ve'yishtabach v'yitbar v'yitrama ve'yitnaseh ve'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shmei dikudsha brichu leila min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata ta'amiran ve'alma v'imru amen. Titkabal sotan vauton de Israel kodam avon di vishmaya vehimeru. Amen. Yehi shlama rava min shmaya v'chaim alenu el Israel vimeru. Amen. Oseh shalom imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom alenu el Israel ve'el kol yoshvei tevel vimru. Amen. At this time, we take a moment to think about those who are in need of our prayers of healing, both of body and of spirit. I have names of those in our community, our friends and family. We are thinking of Yisrael ben Michael, Binyamin ben Moshe v'Sara, Chaya bat Rela, Nisha bat Mordechai Zelek v'Gittel, Bluma Rachel bat Chaim Yaakov v'Liba, Dori Roth, Meir ben Moshe u'Breindel, Robert Young, Ze'ev ben Batia, Rafael Chaim ben Sylvia, Migdala Cruz, Ed Seidenfeld, Zev Asher ben Batia ve'Yaakov Halevi, Aharon Ephraim ben Tzvi Shner, Froma Elka bat Aryeh Leib ve'Esther Rachel, Roberta Lipsman, Chana bat Sivia ve'Elazara Cohen, Phyllis Weinstein, Gittel Malka bat Baruch Hashena, Chaim ben Label Bachana, Alan Holland, Heinik ben Rodis, Ken Dorf, Chaim Leib ben Pinchas Bezelda, Marty Cohen, Tammy Trow, Sara Vida bat Esther bat Sheva bat Chava Esther, David Goldstein, Jan Stearns, Perla bat Chilia ve Esther, Neil Pleasant, Eleanor Manis, Barak ben Bracha. If you would like to say the names of those you are thinking of tonight, or if it feels appropriate, you can write their names in our chat as well. And we continue with this prayer of healing, the song from Debbie Friedman. Mi shebeirach avotenu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi shebeirach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shalema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. We rise on page 83 for the Aleinu. I invite Avi to turn to page, I believe it's 51, for the Aleinu. When you're ready, Avi, just remember to unmute.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'atid gedula le'otzei breshit, shelo sam chukei haratzon, velo samanu k'mishpechot adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'goralinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, lifnei melech malchei hamachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. V'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol ha'oretz vayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad.
On page 66, we come again to our mourners Kaddish. This week we are thinking of, well, actually, before we get to the yard sites, we think about, we're extending our love to the Lang family, to Hannah, Frank, Eddie, Veronica, Julia, and Elena, on the passing of Tzvi Grizak, who passed away this week, was buried in Israel on Wednesday morning. And to you guys who are mourning, I'm talking to the Langs, my apologies to Hannah. We hope that this is a week of healing and that you find comfort in your friends and family. We are also observing the yard sites of those who passed away at this time in years past between the 6th and 12th of Cheshvan. Geraldine Moskowitz, mother of Les Moskowitz and grandmother of Michael Moskowitz. Joseph Kaufman, father of Phyllis Weinstein. Louis Konevsky, father of Erwin Konevsky. Diane Lado, mother of Mark Lado. Herbert Baran, father of Ellie Aronow. Jack Green, father-in-law of Louis Shapiro, grandfather of Beth Shapiro. Irving B. Krasno, father of Renee Feinberg, grandfather of Linda Weiss, Julie Seifert, and Michael Feinberg. Ronald Rabinovich, father of Gary Schindler. Samuel Weidlock, father of Judy Silberman. Stanley Callender, father of Howard Callender. Vicki Levin Miller, daughter of Selma Levin and sister of Denny Lieber, aunt of Amy Lieber. Dory Ben Shalom, son of Ellen Ben Shalom, grandson of Esther Shapira. Herman Schul, grandfather of Stuart Altstatter. Minnie Beiser, mother of Jay Beiser. Howard Blitt, father of Ann Zinman, grandfather of Mark Zinman. Anna Goldberg, grandmother of Naomi Goodell. And no, it is not his yahrzeit, but I would be remiss if I didn't say that we were thinking of Rabbi Kaplan as well this evening as we celebrate Avi. And again, we imagine Rabbi Kaplan's big smile of pride as we are wearing a smile of pride. And as we call those of our past and intertwine them with our present, we look towards the future as we praise God with these words of Mourner's Kaddish. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah. Amen. Ve'alma divra kir'ute v'yamlich malchute v'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael ba'agala ubizman kari v'imru. Amen. Yehe shmei Rabbah mevarach le'alam ulalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shmei dekudsha brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tush bechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehe shlama Rabbah min shmaya v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Before I turn it over to Allison for some announcements and some gifts from the congregation to Avi, I just wanted to make a quick mention that Rabbi Klatzker is fine. I was remiss not to add him to our Misha Berach list. He had a procedure this afternoon and was just very tired. So he needed to rest, but should be joining us tomorrow. So again, he's totally fine. Hopefully I didn't shock anyone. Allison, why don't you take it away with some announcements?
Okay, thank you, Cantor. Shabbat Shalom. So yes, please join Congregation Or Tzion tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. for live stream Shabbat services. I just want to make sure that everyone knows that this point moving forward, you can attend Shabbat services. 25 person each week can attend the Minyan every Saturday. If you're interested, please see the e-bulletin for details to sign up for the Sign Up Genius. Lots of things happening in the congregation. This Sunday, there is a Wilcott challah bake. You can please join that. Cantor is going to be part of that, as well as Stacy Moskowitz. And then on November 14th at 7 p.m., from the committee that brought you the trivia night, we're going to be having a wild goose chase scavenger hunt and Havdalah and a sing-along. So please register for that. We have 10 teams signed up so far, so please register. Please make sure to everybody fill out your interest volunteer survey. We want to know what people are interested in doing on behalf of the membership committee. Opportunities to connect. This week, Adult Education with Rabbi Sussman is every Monday at 5, and we'll resume next week, October 26th, and Ruach Tefillah with Cantor Dana every Wednesday at 11. Thank you to Cantor for leading in this beautiful service. I was going to mention Rabbi Klatzker, but yes, Refuah Shlema to him. And thank you always to Scott Wiggin for your technical assistance. And it's interesting to be in these all different places and see the palm trees with the Kaplans. So thank you, Scott, for bringing that all together. So now, Avi, I'd like to talk to you, on behalf of the board of directors of the congregation, but also personally. We go back a ways. I knew your parents way before you were born. I knew your mom from BBYO in high school. And of course, I knew your dad from Camp Ramah. Life makes some crazy twists and turns. Crazy that Michael and I would decide to move from the Bay Area to Scottsdale. And then further crazy that a few years after that, your dad would become our rabbi at Congregation Or Chadash. Michael was on the rabbi search committee. And when he realized that the applicant was that Micah Kaplan, like the one from Camp Ramah, he just knew it was going to work out, and it did. Avi, I met you when you were 2 years old, and I remember your long hair, and I remember your upshirin when we cut off your long hair, just like it was yesterday. My family had the pleasure of being at both of your sister's bat mitzvahs, Brianna's was my 39th birthday. I remember that. And now it's your turn. It's been a pleasure and an honor to watch you grow up in the congregation, to see you run around the J in a Camp Ramah, and to hear about all of your accomplishments on the baseball field. Avi, these circumstances are less than ideal, and truly, it's just not fair, as Cantor mentioned before. Your dad should be here, and we should all be physically together. I know, though, in my heart, that my friend Micah and your dad and our rabbi is with us tonight, and I know he's bursting with pride at the young man you've become. Thank you so much for sharing this Kabbalat Shabbat service with your Or Tzion community. On behalf of the Or Tzion Board of Directors, I'm presenting you with several gifts that you'll receive: a wine cup from the Men's Club, a Jewish National Fund certificate showing that a tree was planted in your honor in Israel, a USY event certificate from the Youth Department, from Women's League at Tzedakah Box, a B'nai Tzedek Youth Philanthropy certificate with seed money in your name that you can donate to a philanthropic fund of your choice. I recommend Camp Ramah in California, and a book from the Jewish Federation titled Israel Matters. Tomorrow morning, you will become a bar mitzvah at the most magical place on earth, not Dodger Stadium or Disneyland, but Camp Ramah. Avi, heartfelt mazel tov to you and to your family on this occasion. Mazel tov. So I think that's it for tonight. Shabbat shalom, everybody. I'll pass it back over.
Thank you, Allison. We are all sort of bursting with pride for you, Avi. We really are. I mean, you've just outdone yourself this evening. You've been wonderful, and you will be fantastic tomorrow. Just remember to breathe. Don't lock your knees. We conclude this very beautiful Shabbat celebrating Avi, and our Mazel Tov and heartfelt love goes out to the Kaplan, the Weisses, I think there are more, but I forgot last names. So really, Mazel Tov to all of you. And Avi, when you're ready, Kiddush. For those who are following along, we're on page 67, and if it is your custom, you can rise. You don't have to, though. Whenever you're ready.
Savri Chaverai
L'chaim.
Baruch Atah Eloheinu Melech Haolam Borei Peri Hagafen
Amen.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Kichanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu B'Shabbat Kodsho B'Ahava Uvratzon Yinchilanu Zikaron Le'Maaseh Bereshit Ki Hu Yom Tequila Lemikra Kodesh Zecher Litziat Mitzrayim Ki Banu Bacharta Ve'otanu Kidashta Mikol Hamim V'Shabbat Kodshecha Ve'ahava Uvratzon Yinchaltanu Baruch Atah Adonai Hakadosh HaShabbat.
Amen.
Shabbat shalom, everyone. L'chaim. Avi, drink up. Avi, have a magical time tomorrow in Ramah. We are all with you. It'll be fantastic. We'll see the rest of Or Tzion over at 9:30 tomorrow morning. And with that, we say Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. Avi, you rock. Shabbat shalom. You're so good. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bim, bitty 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 bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Shabbat shalom, hey, Shabbat shalom, hey, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, hey, Shabbat shalom, hey, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom.